Welcome back to the next part of this React query tutorial. This time we'll talk about query invalidation. Let's remind ourselves of where we left off. All the mutations we have are currently successful, but we need to manually refresh the page to see them. For instance, let's create a new to-do item. We'll see that it doesn't immediately appear, but when we refresh the page, the new to-do item is here. So as we can see, this isn't a great user experience. To fix this, we'll use query invalidation. So usually when a mutation in your app succeeds, it's very likely that there are related queries in your application that need to be invalidated and possibly refetched to account for the new changes from your mutation. So let's modify all the mutations. Let's start with the CreateTodoMutation. First, we'll need a query client using the useQueryClient hook. And we can import this from React Query. Then, inside the mutation, we'll need to pass an onSuccess callback. And inside here, we can write queryClient.invalidateQueries. And we'll need to pass in a query key. In our case, this will be to-dos. So there's a few interesting things to note here. Number one is that by default, this will invalidate all the query keys matching this prefix. If you want, you could get really specific and only invalidate exact matches, but in our case it doesn't really matter because the only key we have is to-dos. The next interesting point to mention is that if you want your mutation to stay in loading state while your related queries update, you have to return the result of invalidate queries from this callback. So let's change this to return queryClient.invalidateQueries. I'll provide some references in the description of the video in case you want to read further. Now we can do the exact same for the delete and the update. So we can actually copy paste this. And don't forget to create the query client. And same thing for the update. Let's test the app again to see the difference. So I'll create a new to-do item. Click Add. And after a few milliseconds, we'll see it's populated in the list. Now same thing for the update. When you click the checkbox, you'll see the changes updated in the UI. And the delete as well. Awesome. So we made the app even more functional by automatically refetching stale data. We no longer have to manually refresh. This greatly improves the user experience. However, another problem you might notice is that there is a bit of a delay for updating and deleting. So, for example, when we click on a checkbox, you'll see there is a bit of latency. This is because we wait for the backend to respond. However, this is a user experience problem, because for something like a checkbox, we expect the UI to have instant feedback. For this purpose, we'll be improving the application even further by implementing what is called an optimistic update. Stay tuned for the next video.